Hey, up next on the MARR Army Rock Show, this is our Hired Gun episode here. You know, we watched the movie Hired Gun about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Our good buddy Johnny Hetherington, by the way, doing the theme music for that one, and was really intrigued by the notion that we know some people just like the folks featured in that movie. So we brought Lenny Cerzosie back on. Lenny, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Always love talking to you.
So, I mean, I guess the term hired gun, would that be a complimentary term for somebody like you, or would you perceive that as somewhat insulting almost?
You know, definitely not insulting, but I think sometimes, I guess, like for me, for instance, there's all levels of the hired gun, you know, and some guys make a real good living doing that, you know, doing studio work, say, or doing session work, doing even filling in for somebody on, you know, porn, that kind of thing, you know. Whereas I'm like on the lower tier in terms of the pay rate, you know? And but you know, if you don't love it, you're not being sincere. So I love it, of course, first, and money's here and there, you know. It's got to be that way, in my opinion. You know, it can't be the reverse. So no, definitely not insulting. Hell, I have utilized hired guns on almost everything I've done in the last 10 years. You know, I mean, so many of these guys before I got to know on a personal level really was a session thing going on, you know, and then as long as you're cool with people and you know very well, the music world is so small really when it comes down to it, especially the rock and roll community. It's tight, it's fairly small, so you only need to know a couple people to know everybody. You know what I mean?
I don't know that
I know you know what I mean.
Yeah, except I don't know that everybody's mastered that quite the way you and our other guests this evening have. And to kind of summarize it for folks, just so they appreciate it, if they've regular listeners to the show, they already know you. But if not, kind of just summarize for folks like kind of who you've played with in, like, let's say the last year and a half, the band you're actually in, or at least play with sometimes.
Well, I mean, the coolest thing over the last year or so has been working with Morgan Rose and Corey Lowry out in Atlanta. It's actually, I'm heading out there in just about an hour or so. And what's fun about it is there's no real like plan for it. We're literally writing songs as we're sitting there in the studio, you know, and just saying, oh, let's try this. Really fun. And then the end product is like really satisfying because you really don't know what, and you have all different angles. You know, you got the Seven Dust stuff, the Stuck Mojo stuff, the Infinite Staircase, and Mind Factor stuff, all in these songs. You know, so yeah, working with Morgan has been like pretty much a blessing for me. You know, I know we've hung out quite a few times. I know you know him too, and I mean, he's a lot of people think he's just a monster drummer, which he is, but you know as well as I that he's an amazing songwriter, producer, and an even better friend. So
yeah. Now, as far as your resume though, going back to last year, let's run it down. We got the Mind Factor, we got Le Projet, we've got Infinite Staircase, we've got. You occasionally have played on stage with Candlebox as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I had that chance a few times. Very lucky, you know. Kevin Martin, actually, you know, lead singer Candlebox. One of the guys that actually really helped get my quote unquote career like kickoff, you know. And again, it's one of those things where sometimes people don't realize everybody's human. You know, my brother was managing the Infinite Staircase at the time, and he was just reaching out to people. Kevin Martin happened to be one of the people that responded through email, you know, just like, hey man, we're putting on this benefit show. You want to come out? And it's sometimes it's that simple. You send out 100 emails, maybe you get one response, but that one response that, you know, that starts a fire. And if you run with it, you know, it gets pretty hot. And, you know, I feel successful in the sense of what I've done with who I've done it with, you know what I mean? The shows and everything. But yeah, I gotta say Candlebox is one of the bands that really helped me and my brother get our careers going. Yeah.
Now talk about the level, and for you, I think it's probably natural for you, but is it hard learning so many songs to be in so many different bands? Like, what's the time lag trying to learn something when another band just kind of picks you up for a while?
Yeah, honestly, some guys can pick it up quick. I'm really not like that. It's hard for me. I'll be perfect. It's really hard for me, especially with the Mind Factor. The songs that have already been written by their, late singer Ray Ray. A lot of them are like long jam songs with lots of lyrics and stuff like that. And so I'm learning guitar parts and lyrics on top of it. So yeah, it takes a lot of time. You got to spend at least a few hours a day working on your craft, so to speak. You know, you have to. If you don't spend some time doing it, and then when you're on stage, if you don't have the practice behind you, the confidence will kill you, or the lack of confidence will murder you on stage. When I forget lyrics on stage, which happens a lot, it's usually because I'm like, man, I should have practiced a couple more times this week, you know. But yeah, that's my biggest challenge, I guess, is depending on the show that I'm playing and who I'm playing with, there's a different set of songs to play, learn, and all that. But at the same time, when you do it so often, it becomes kind of, you know, second nature, you know. You stop thinking about it. It just kind of happens. Or I like to think, you know, I close my eyes and hope it happens.
So for, you know, there'll be some musicians that are out there, you know, they're in one band, they've been in the same band for 10 years, and they tour together with that band the whole time. Talk about the difference in a career like yours, where you've got your feet in many fires. Is it an advantage or a disadvantage? Like, do you like it better? Would you rather be, like, in one band, do you think?
That's a tough one. You know, my brother and I have been playing together forever, you know, since we're little. So the Infinite Staircase is always going to be our baby in that sense, you know, and it's still there. You know, he and I don't really work together too much anymore. Like, we've gone in different paths, so to speak. You know, we still have some stuff that we're doing together, but not like it used to be, you know. So in one sense, I miss that, but at the same time, times are different right now, and the industry is different, and how people find and listen to music is different, you know, and even like being a quote-unquote artist and using social media, it's just such a different world that I think in that sense it's easier for me to connect with people, because it's, you know, if you don't like this, well, you might like this or that, and it's not even like trying to sell anything to anybody either. It's really just being completely sincere and just hoping for the best. Of course, we all hope for the best and do what we love, you know, and that's about it. So don't see it as a disadvantage. I see it as kind of almost evolving with the industry and with times, you know.
Now, talk about songwriting. Are you simultaneously writing songs with 2, 3, 4 bands right now?
Yeah. That's another interesting process. But you know, it's weird. Depending on who's in the room, the vibe is going to be what it is, you know. So, I mean, I try very hard to not get stuck in any kind of pattern where I'm, you know, repeating myself in various projects. But everybody that I work with is so different and so, like, awesome, honestly, that it's not a problem for me in that sense. But yeah, it's constant writing, constant lyrics, constant riffs, you know, and just throwing ideas back and forth. Most of the people I work with don't even live anywhere near me, so the internet's a beautiful thing in that sense. And constantly driving, flying, wherever you gotta go. You know, I mean, just last night my guys came in from Baltimore and Delaware. We played New Jersey, Long Branch, Jersey. Great show, fun as hell. And again, ran into people. This one lady I ran into, she's like, "Oh, I heard you were gonna be here tonight." I'm like, who am I and who are you? She's like, "Oh, I'm good friends with so-and-so." You know, like, "Oh, yeah, that's my buddy, of course." Da-da-da. "Oh, yeah, well, I was working for this company when I signed them 20 years ago." And you know, so the circles are so small, you never know who you're going to meet, who you're running into. You got to be cool with everybody. And if you burn somebody, you got to be careful. And you know that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
amen. Yeah. That's something we try to never do here. But going back to, like, so when you kind of made the transition from more or less, you know, being an Infinite Staircase to branching out to all these projects and playing so many different places, do you think you're a better musician for having been with so many different groups?
Oh, I definitely try to learn from everybody I work with. So yeah, definitely. I could say, for my lack of practice habits, working with so many different types of musicians is definitely helpful, and definitely, you know, makes you think in different ways. Believe it or not, I like to not listen so much to whatever music is out on the radio and stuff like that. I like to kind of almost tune it out and see what we come up with on the fly, just, you know, as is, you know. I mean, I even have this young lady coming in from Sweden. She's a heavy metal singer out there, and we're going to work together out in Jersey. And, you know, it's just, you got to be open to all this stuff, and you got to be willing to learn, and it doesn't matter if you're into metal or rap or whatever. You just got to be open to passion. Actually, that's a word we use in our group around here, you know. You got to be passionate, you know, and it's infectious, you know. People I think, react to passion, whether you like the music or not, or the scene or not, or whatever. Passion is something that people want to be around.
Now, I've run down this resume of all these bands you've played with, and has there been a band or like ever done any studio work in a totally different genre that might stun people that you did?
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny because being in the Mind Factor, it is one of those things where there are a few songs where you could almost call it a rap happens, and I had some friends, metalhead friends, that were stunned the first time they saw me perform and do this like kind of rap thing, and probably 10 years ago, if you asked me, would you ever do a rap on stage? Like, hell no. But, again, you just got to be open-minded. And the first time when I was learning the song, I even made a joke to the guys. I was like, oh, no, I don't do that shit. I was just joking. And then they were all like, serious, like, no, man, that song goes over well live. And to be honest, we close with it pretty much every night, and it does go over pretty well. But my close friends, especially the ones that knew me from my metalhead days, when I was a teenager and stuff, and my goth days even, and they're like, dude, wow, never thought I'd see you doing that. But it's cool, even this young lady that I know, she saw me recently do it, and she's like, wow, I never heard you rap before.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really rapping, but thanks.
Well, man, I appreciate a little peek behind the curtain at the lifestyle you're living, working so hard with so many projects. And I'll let you real quick plug what you're doing right now. So you're heading to Atlanta. What are you working on down there?
Well, that's just a project that I'm working with Morgan, Corey, my buddy Jim, and we're just really just writing songs, And honestly, it's one of the few projects that there's really no direction yet, other than we're just enjoying it. I mean, Seven Dust goes on tour in like a month or so I'm not going to see Morgan for a while. So we're trying to just bang out maybe an EP and just play around with it and see what happens.
Well, one of the first places that you'll be glad to get airplay on is right here on the Marmy Rock Show. As soon as you got something ready, buddy, you just send it our way, and it'll be spun on this show.
Oh, man. You're the first one that's going to get it. I'm probably going to send it to you before I'm supposed
to. little trade secret there, yeah. And they happen from time to time.
I'm terrible at that, dude. I can't keep those secrets. Not for people like you, especially.
Well, we appreciate you being back on the show, man. Thanks so much.
It's always so fun. Anytime, man. Anytime, seriously.